Shelley Hofberg is a clairvoyant, medium, pet psychic, and tarot reader. She does not ask for the details about your life, but primarily relies on her gift of clairvoyance to receive the psychic insights that will be the most helpful to you about your soulmate, relationships, money concerns, and your career path. As a pet psychic, she will receive insights about what your pet or pets wants you to know. As a medium, she will connect with your loved ones on the other side. Shelley Hofberg is the host of the Psychic Horizon radio show, produced by Goldilocks Productions and presented on Blog Talk Radio, Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Shelley brings together the pioneers and visionary teachers to share with you some of the most enlightening knowledge that is out there today to expand your horizons and open the paths to higher consciousness.
Welcome to the Psychic Horizon Show. I'm your host, Psychic Shelley Hofberg, and today's special guest is Bill Foss, the author of Secrets of Spiritual Success and Journey to the Akashic Records. And before I bring on Bill, I want to make some quick announcements. Bill Foss will be my guest also on November 1st to talk about, or November 3rd, I think it's November 3rd, to talk about psychic healing. And Jeremy Ryden, numerologist Jeremy Ryden, will be my guest November 10th. He is the author of Your Soul Story, How to Create the Life You Want, and the host of the Intuitive Destiny show that comes on 8 p.m. Eastern Time this evening. And Brian Rawls will be my guest on November 17th. He's the host of the Magical Journey radio show that comes on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And so that will be my guest for November. And I'm going to be at the Learning Light Foundation Psychic Fair in Anaheim, California on December 12th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's December 12th. And on December 20th, I'm going to be at the New Earth Expo at the Beverly Garden and North Hollywood. And on December 26th, I'll be at the School of Multidimensional Healing and Science Psychic Fair from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm now ready to bring on my guest, Bill Foss. Hello, Bill.
Hi, Shelley. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. How are you, Bill? I'm fine.
Doing well. Well, we're right between morning and afternoon, aren't we?
Yes. And Bill, can you tell the caller something about yourself?
Yes. Well, I wanted to just send a quick shout out to everyone that tunes in to Shelley's show and say, that I'm sorry I couldn't be on the show the last time that we were scheduled. So my apologies to you and many blessings to everyone. That said, a little bit about myself, Shelley, for our listeners. Basically, I grew up an artist and musician and had a lot of creativity coming through me over the years. And about 20 years ago, started asking, who, what, why, where, how, what are the reasons for life itself? The soul coming through the senses, which is a dynamic that happens for all of us, was starting to look around and notice that there was something behind everything. So I was starting to tune into, without knowing it consciously in my mind, I was starting to tune into other dimensions. I was starting to bring in connections through the soul field directly from the Akashic Records that was connected to all of the other lifetimes where I'd done spiritual study, or had known either in life, in those past lives, what some of the greater insights of spiritual understanding or the universe or the workings of how everything works together, and also in between lives. So I was starting to remember all this, and I had a giant question mark, and I didn't know quite where to go with it. So I started, asking God and praying and talked to Creator God, and He heard me. And the next day I was guided to the Akashic Records. And I thought, well, the Akashic Records being so vast, it started to answer that question. As that became fulfilled for me and started filling me up with knowledge and information, then I got into yoga and Tai Chi. And I think empathically, I was starting to sense that normal, ordinary, mundane life wasn't supplying, or it was just off. The ego, as for many of us, we're searching blindly sometimes, and like a child in the dark with a blindfold on, looking for some deeper insights. And the ego was, I think, really, really, looking, as well as my soul was wanting to connect in. And so continued studies, with my art and my music, until I got to the point where it just started coming through me so much that I knew it was time to come out and start teaching. And I literally don't have any, I'm not a PhD, I should say at this time, but I don't have any, certificates on my wall, nothing like that. This is all guided from deep, from deep study, from my insights and learning, and many, many, many other lifetimes where I've studied spiritually. So all of this started coming through naturally and started coming out. And really that's the greatest, in my opinion, that's the greatest way for us to learn and to share with each other and to become a practitioner. It's always helpful to have a certificate if it helps us to be more accepted, by the industries or by the medical industry or profession or people who are used to that. But as you get used to shifting over and just being more in the natural world, just doing it the good old-fashioned natural way, bringing in insights, learning, understanding, experiencing, practicing, and going out and sharing with others is the best way. And this started coming through me just very naturally. I just knew I wanted to help people. And so that's that's the main reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, is really from my heart. I sincerely want to help people, and I want to reach people. And if I can bring through these insights that I have in a way that can, even if it's a word or two words or a sentence or maybe a whole class, understandings where somebody can get some insight and they say, that just clicked me over. Something clicked inside and I'm inspired. So that's my mission. And here we are, 20 years later.
And Bill, what are the Akashic Records?
Okay, Shelley. The Akashic Records, and I'm going to describe it and bring in some dynamics that are just a little bit different than we've talked about on other shows. But I'm going to start with with a similar creative description and say that the Akashic Records is a multi-dimensional library in the higher planes of existence between the earth plane, between the physical 3D and God, higher than the astral plane, in the higher dimensions, that is in the etheric field of the planet, where every single soul that has ever visited the earth plane. So that's pretty huge in numbers if you think about the the age of the Earth, the age of the Earth, and think about all of the souls enjoined with physical forms on this planet at this time. Between 6 and 7 billion souls enjoined with human bodies. And all of these souls have visited the earth plane. All of these souls have visited and connected in with the Akashic records. All of these souls are continually, in every single moment of their life, of all of our lives, whether we're awake or we're sleeping or we're dreaming, we are connected into these records, and we're inputting information, thought, word, and deed. We're also processing in other realities. We're processing in other dimensions of time-space. So it's a pretty vast. It's a pretty vast dynamic that's going on. So let's just keep beyond, without going into the other alternate realities or things like that. Let's just come back to this life. The millions and millions of years, between 6 and 7 billion souls enjoined with human forms, connected into the records by a thread or stream from the soul, coming from the soul. The soul be housing. We'll say the soul because the soul is around the human body. The soul field, which can be a little bit harder to get in touch with because it's so silent. It is so silent. This soul field is then housing the physical body inside of it, and it's radiating and it's emanating inward into our physical body, and we're having an experience. So this deep connection, the dynamics of the Akashic records holds the past, present, and future moments of all past, present, and future lifetimes. And it also holds the understanding and the elemental makeup of all things animate and inanimate. So, if we think about that for a minute, that's pretty vast. And when a lot of times when people come to the classes or workshops, or people, just normal people like you and I, our listeners out there, people in general, as they're studying spirituality or metaphysics, energy, all of the above, when they find the Akashic records and they find out the simple understanding of what it is, it can become exciting. It can become inspiring. And as it's inspiring, it's, when people find out about it in general that have been searching for a niche to speak to them, it is a very, very helpful tool or a dynamic that you're part of, that every single person is part of, that we're all connected into, and we can get all of this information, all of this free information about our past lives and things that we've done, things we've been involved with, and it's going to open and fine-tune the psychic arts, the intuitive arts for naturally born psychics. It will give you another dynamic to work with. And for people who are naturally intuitive, which we all are, we just need to turn it on, to flip that switch. Then we're able to understand dreams, understand daydreams or visions or gut feelings that we have, and we become naturally more psychic. So it's a wonderful, wonderful tool or a part of who we are to get back in touch with and really journey, to really journey up into the records and see some of the insights that we've experienced in other lifetimes. and it's all about the knowing. It is literally all about the knowing of each soul through its journey, through all of the lifetimes. So the Akashic Records, to sum that up and add to it, the Akashic Records is central, and it's the true reason for its existence. It's not to keep track of everybody or any big conspiracies or the aliens using it, or is the government. None of that. It's a very revered place, and the Akashic Records exists for the souls of humanity to learn, understand, and to have a response in life to physical reality here. So it's a bridge, if you will, a rainbow bridge between the higher dimension and the physical reality for all souls in human form. And there are many reasons why the Akashic Records exist, and that's available in the book. But I would say, for our listeners, the number one reason that it exists is for each soul to be able to come down, have an incarnation, experience life, experience the lessons, the hardships, the triumphs, the joys, the pains, all of that, the full spectrum of life, and then go back up to the records and work with the teachers and the guides and say, I didn't understand that part. What was that about? Or maybe the teachers would say, the librarians would say, come on in, welcome, let's look through your records here. Let's see where you're at, and work with a person's karma.
Well, let's take our first caller, Bill, which is area code 720. Hello, 720.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hi, who do we have the pleasure of speaking to?
My name is Lauren.
Hello, Lauren. And
yes.
Lauren, what is your question today?
I'm just wondering about my career and just what you see coming up.
Do you see anything
Hi,
coming
Lauren.
up?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Okay, what is your full name and where are you calling from?
My name is Laura. Lauren. It's actually, people call me Lauren. And I'm calling from Castle Rock.
Castle Rock, Colorado.
Yes.
Okay. What's your full name, Lauren?
Lauren Denise Clark.
Okay. And what are you doing now, Lauren?
I'm just doing a little part-time thing.
Okay. Well, I see opportunities for you in the city. I see opportunities for you in the direction of Denver. So I'm familiar with the area because having done expos yearly there. Colorado Springs, Monument, Castle Rock, Denver, that whole corridor through there. But what I'm really feeling for you is a draw towards Denver. I do see retail and or clerical. So working with people, no matter what you decide to do, it might be around. You may find something in the healing industry. You may also find something working with pets that could be very interesting.
Sure. Okay.
So the key is to keep your sights open You seem like a fairly balanced person. You like to have fun.
Yes.
I think that's something that's more of in a wide open sort of an area for you. It's really going to allow you to live free. It's going to allow you to move about, expand your energy fields, and have fun. So it won't actually feel like you're working. You may want to look into I'm seeing like an indoor shopping mall of some sort. So maybe there's maybe take a look around and see what you think in that regard. Feel the energy. I know they can be quite loud at times, and there's a lot going on, but it's colorful, and there's a good family dynamic and creative dynamic happening in Colorado. So you might find an interesting shop within a mall, within an indoor shopping mall that'll get you through the winter, which will be a little easier to deal with than being stuck in an office.
Yeah. I just probably wouldn't do retail. It doesn't pay anything, and I wouldn't like to do that for sure.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing now?
Nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can still find things that are, based around that. There may be something that's in an indoor facility. Even if there are corporate offices that have open areas or open spaces where they open up into a central area. So,
sure.
But I am seeing Denver.
Okay. Well, that sounds good then.
But I would, just get creative. Think outside the box. You're working for a nonprofit right now, and we think for-profit or nonprofit, or this type of job or that type of job. But just get in touch and just take a spin. Like maybe even go out and say, like have a fun, creative mission. Make it fun, and just take a few deep breaths and just sit down and say, I'm going to release all my expectations. I am going to have fun, and I'm going to go on a creative adventure, and I'm going to find something really cool.
Sure.
And then don't have any expectations and get in the car and see what happens.
Sounds good to me.
Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I think you'll say again.
Oh, I think Shelley was talking.
Oh,
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Bill.
Go
I
ahead,
didn't mean
Shelley.
to cut you off. Go ahead, Bill.
No, not at all. Go ahead, please.
I feel, Lauren, that you will work in nonprofit, and it's going to be dealing with children or pets. One of those things, children or pets, a nonprofit for them, or it could be both children and pets, both. And I kind of feel that the nonprofit job is coming up in the month of November or around mid-December. So any time between in November and mid-December before Christmas time, you will be getting a new job. And I do feel that it's going to be for a nonprofit organization. And I do feel that the pay is going to be good, that it's going to be good pay. And I do feel that you'll be doing a lot of coordinating in the job, doing coordinating, putting together events, to raise funds, to raise money is what you would be doing on the job. And, Bill, how can Lauren get in contact with you?
Well, I just want to validate for you. I just had an interview. It's a place called The Gathering Place as a resource case manager there, and I'm just waiting to hear back.
I feel that it's possible that they'll hire you.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Please, please. And they're in Denver. They're not in California, so that's good.
That's good. I think that they would hire you. You know, they would feel that you would be a good match and a good fit, and they're going to call you back for a second interview.
Yep, and I'm waiting for a second interview right now. I'm waiting. They said that I had a telephone interview and that they were going to contact me in a couple of days for a second interview.
Yes, I feel that you would get it. And Bill, how can Lauren get in contact with
Thank you.
Lauren, if you want to get in contact with me, you can go to www.billfoss.net. That's BILLFOSS.net.
Okay.
Or my local number, my practitioner's number is 918-770-3810.
Okay. Gosh, thank you so much.
And you could get a hold of me, Lauren, at 818-744-5241 or go to psychichorizon.com. Thank you for calling, Lauren.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Lauren.
We're now going to continue our interview with Bill Foss on the Akashic Records, and then we're going to take our next caller, which is area code 856. What are the Akashic Records in relation to psychic awareness and activities, Bill?
Well, Shelley, the Akashic Records and psychic activity are very closely related. They're overlapping, you might say. So one, they have elements of each other. Psychic awareness, when we think pure psychic, if we were to just scientifically describe pure psychic, then we're receiving messages from beyond, and yet more specifically, we're receiving psychic messages from another person, from their energy field, from their expanded self beyond linear time and space, from their mind, from their subconscious, from some people would call that mind reading, and that could be done from the fields. But when you're connecting in through ESP with another person's, their mind, their fields, their senses, and the fields are very active and dynamic, and these invisible fields are connected multidimensionally and interconnected with a greater soul matrix, with the oneness of the eternal now. So it has the future and the past. Or could we say it has possible and probable multiple futures? So that is some of the dynamics around psychic activity. Akashic Records it deals with the mind is connected with the chakra system and the fields, the mind field, but the soul field is around the body, and the soul has all of these remembrances of the past lives, as does the DNA that's in the field around the body. And this soul field is connected by a thread up into the records. And so there are three things that I like to talk about: psychic, intuition, and the Akashic Records. And psychic is more local. So psychic is more local around the body, through the mind, mind to mind. Soul, intuition, is more soul-based. So intuition acts like psychic information, but you'll notice that it's softer. So psychic activity can also have a magnetic energy charge to it. If you're in the room with somebody who is giving off a field of energy psychically. You'll feel it. We feel this often when we're in a room where there are a group of psychics practicing, or when we go to see somebody, or we may even know somebody who does this, and it can be incremental or it may be constant with that person. So it will be a little, I don't want to say sharp, but it will be, it has a certain energetic flavor to it. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. The soul field, the intuition, which is between psychic and Akashic, is a little softer. Now you'll get psychic impressions from the soul field of others when you're working with others or reading with others, or you can get your own impressions through this field, and you'll notice that sometimes it'll be a little clearer because your soul has clearer information often than sometimes psychic awareness can be colored by the ego. Now, not always, but it's something to consider if we have yeses, nos, lights, darks, rights, wrongs, positives, negatives that we're experiencing even subtly or on a more dramatic level in life, then going to the intuition field and looking from that level will be helpful. The Akashic Records is going to be the highest level of intuition that's connected through the soul field. So you'll get psychic impressions from the Akashic field because your mind and your senses are experiencing it. So it's all, these three dynamics are really, when somebody's in alignment and they're practicing, will give all three expressions of. So really, if you're psychic and you practice the Akashic Records, or even if you're not psychic and you practice the Akashic Records, it's going to turn on your soul intuition and it will help you develop your psychic awareness. So we have that to look forward to. It's really an interesting dynamic.
Let's take our next caller, Bill, which is area code 856. Hello, 856.
Hi, this is Laura.
Hello, Laura. And Laura, what is your question today?
I'm looking for work, and I'm wondering if you see a job coming up for me soon.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey. You're like, no, it's New Jersey. And what is your full name?
Oh, I'm not going to give that out over the air.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to need your shoe size. I'm just kidding. Okay, so are you currently working or no? You're just looking for work?
Yeah, I'm not working, but I am looking for work.
Okay. What? Do you live in a rural area or in the city?
Rural, I guess you could say. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the city.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do see part-time work coming for you, and you might take a job that is going to transition into something else. I really, honestly, I'm getting a sense that you're going to find something that you really, really enjoy long-term by March of this coming year. So we all want to find something right away and the best possible outcome and just, jump to the next hoop sometimes. But that might take a little bit of fine-tuning for you. So you really need to get in touch with what's going to bring you joy while you do it.
Okay.
What's going to bring you joy while you do it? What's really going to light your fire? So there, we can have a sense of everything in life is spiritual. Everything gives us a sense of enlightenment through our senses. But we think sleep, awake, we're eating, we're walking, we're talking, we're going to go to a job. We're just going to go to a job. We're looking for, and so you might be looking at it just as just a job, just something to provide for yourself, and that's fine. But that, in what I'm getting for you, is that you're going to have probably, I would say, at least a couple different jobs over the next couple months. What were you doing before?
Well, I do contract work, so that's possibly what you're picking up on. It's temporary work.
Yeah. Well, then if we were to, work imaginatively and intuitively with that, which the two are overlapping, then it stands to reason that these contracts, you may have 1 to 2 and actually even 3 before you land a contract in March that's long term, that you really like.
Well, I just applied to a contract in North Carolina that could go from, they said, could go minimal 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the position.
Yeah. What are you doing? Medical work or?
Yeah, it would actually be in the medical field. This contract I would apply for.
Yeah, that feels really good for you. Just stay tuned and bring in the energy and take advantage of the time between contracts.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean by take advantage of time between contracts? You mean looking for work?
I just say that gently, because oftentimes when we're working, when we're not working, we wish we were working. We feel, so we're we're hopeful that we're going to have something come up, and there's a part of us, there's a higher part of us that always knows that something's coming. So it all feels good for you. Just, I guess another way to say it would be use your time creatively. Use your time creatively.
That's good. That's good advice. I've been wondering about that myself.
Yeah. Just use your off time creatively. As much as possible, and you'll generate even more long term.
Okay, I like that. Thank you very much. I appreciate the reading.
And Laura, I think you're going to get offered the medical contractor job, and I feel it will mean a move to North Carolina. But North Carolina is a beautiful place, and I think you'll be happy living there. So it means a long-distance move, and I feel the job will be at least a year. It's possible that the job could extend beyond a year, but after you get closer to the end of your contract, they renew your contract and go for a longer time. So the job could be longer than a year. It could be at least maybe 2 years because they're going to extend the contract at the end of the term. So I do feel that you're going to be getting the job. And Bill, how can Laura get in contact with you? Bill?
Yes.
I think we lost.
How can Laura get in contact with you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
How can Laura get in contact with you?
Laura, you can get in contact me through the website is billfoss.net. That's BILLFOSS.net, or bill@billfoss.net, or my phone number is 918-770-3810. And I'll be happy to get you a copy of one of the books or CDs, or even do a reading with you if you'd like.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
And Laura, you can get a hold of me at 818-744-5241, or go to psychichorizon.com. And thank you for calling the Psychic Horizon Show, Laura.
Thank you. I really appreciate the readings, both of you. Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, thank you, Laura.
I'm now going to continue my interview with Bill Foss on the Akashic Records, and then I'm going to take our next caller, which is area code 404. Bill, can you tell us about your book, The Secrets of Spiritual Success?
Yes. Shelley, the Secrets of Spiritual Success was, I started that book in 2011, and I never really planned to be an author. I just, as we had talked earlier when you first asked me about how I got started, a little bit about myself. As I continued to study and remember, which was is more accurate, as I started to remember naturally a lot of this stuff from past lives, energy, working with energy, studying meditation, working with spiritual information, the Akashic Records, all of it. I got to a point where I was filled up. I had so much information that started coming in. And as I went out and started sharing with others in gatherings and classes and individual sessions, after doing this for about 12 years, literally, there's no other way to describe it other than to say, God told me to write a book. I heard a voice. It wasn't a loud, booming voice, It wasn't, quadraphonic or anything like that. It was just a simple transmission of energy that said, I want you to write. And my mind said, what about? And I was guided to design the book and the table of contents, and it was a channeled work. Though it was coming through my mind, it's a channeled work of about 20 chapters that are deep insights about the spiritual path and how that is described and related in practical wording. So you can feel a transmission of energy in the writings, and yet it's not like a loosely channeled work. So it's not, when I say channeled, it's not, dear ones, we come before you at this time. It's a very good, time on planet Earth, to step through the portals of light. So it's not loosely channeled like that. It's practical information that anyone can derive from the higher parts of themselves and bring it right down into the mind and the body and start to use it. So it will have that higher dimensional flavor, but it's got the practical, worldly messages as well. There's 20 chapters that are individual of each other, and there's 20 study chapters, and it's got 36 different meditation techniques from around the world. So I talk about, in the book, just about everything I knew up until that point, and refer to the Akashic Records in the book. The book is everything except the Akashic Records, and that's the second book. So it's a great study book. I've had a lot of people, kids get it right away. You know, I've had sixth graders, seventh graders come and pick up a copy of the book, and they're like, I get it. You know, people from all walks of life, people that have had trauma or that are even experiencing sickness or addiction. It's been a great source book for them as well. So that's a little bit about the book. That's a general description and oversight.
Let's take our next caller, Bill, which is area code 404. Hello, 404.
Hello, my name is Charlotte. I have a very low voice, but I am a female.
What's your name?
Charlotte.
Oh, Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi. And I'm in Alabama.
Hi.
And Charlotte, what is your question today?
I had an incident about 2 weeks ago. The police was involved. And I would like to know, are these two people still at that house, or are they like kind of hiding out, or what?
Are these tenants?
No, they're not. No, I never had problems with tenants. Yeah, I do have tenants, but no, there wasn't that. One of these people I was close to at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
there was a really do I need to explain more, or?
Well, maybe a little more. You don't have to go into the whole thing, but maybe just a few elements of it.
Basically, one of these people threw a brick through my car window. When I was sitting in the car. Yes, that's why I didn't really want to get, because it was kind of violent. But I've already let go of a lot of that, so I'm good. But I'm wanting to know, excuse me, it was a man and a woman. A lot of lies had been told, a lot of deceit going on. Especially with the lies and deceit was mostly what he did to the female. It was just a nasty little thing. A lot of little nasties happened. And the police looked, but they didn't find anything. But I have to speak to them again, which has been hard to do, but I know I'm going to contact them. But the thing is, what I want to know, if they're going to be there are they there at the house together? Because, are they there at the house together, or are they no longer around as much? Or
you mean, are they apart, or are they together?
Yeah.
Or is it just they're at the? Well, I get that they are. I get that they are, and they are at the location that you're asking about. I think we ought to do a little psychic healing here. And I just want to say, I don't think you're going to have any more trouble from them. I don't think there's any impending doom on the wind in any way. I do think you need to back out of getting right down on the ground and arguing with them back and forth.
There hasn't been. I hadn't said anything to them since that argument.
Okay. Well, don't engage them on that level. I think.
I'm not.
I think what's going to happen for them is they're so in the moment, from moment to moment, whatever's going on with them, that they're going to be directed into something that's around them that they're going to have to pay more attention to through the world. So, in other words, they're going to forget. They're going to be on to the next.
And that's when they'll get caught?
The next situation. They're going to have to. I see a field of energy around them, which shows me a bigger situation. That so they forget everything and they start. This is this you're protected. You don't have anything to worry about.
Okay.
There's going to be another situation that's coming up for them. What I'm saying that's going to take their attention, completely divert them away from whatever happened with you or whatever situation or connection was there. Let's just go up to Creator God for a minute. Let's contact God, because there is a God, and He listens. And just say thank you for the protection. Thank you for the healing around this whole event. We ask Creator God that you release this. We ask that you release this situation for this dear lady. And that you soothe and protect with rose quartz energy, with rose-colored healing energy around the whole situation. That you disconnect any cords, psychic cording, or karmic cause and effect from the situations that happen, that you disconnect this energy. And bless the perpetrators with karmic understanding and insights in order to better their lives. We ask that you bless and heal, clear, and harmonize all parts of this event, all parts of this dear woman's life, and these other people. Just clear, heal, balance, and energize this whole situation, as there are many, many, many other things that need your attention in the world, our attention. So we ask for you to soothe the situation so that this dear lady might move about freely, clearly. We're just bringing healing information and energy to the whole situation around you, around the event, around them. So just relax, take a deep breath, just let it go. Let it go. And Charlotte, I get that you're going to be just fine, really.
Say again?
I get that you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I kind of figured that, but I'm interested in knowing if the police is going to catch them.
They will. I mean,
okay.
Here's a better way to say it. The universe will catch up to them.
Yeah, I'm sure the universe is going to catch up to them. There's no doubt about that part. But I'm just interested in the police catching them. And my thoughts were for both of them to be at home would be early in the morning. Am I correct about that? If they were going to catch both of them there?
I see them there during the day.
You see them there during the day? Because at one time they were in and out, and one time they weren't there. So they just basically think that nothing's going to happen and they're back to normal.
Well, their ego is trying to smooth it over. It's like when you're operating in life, at that level, it's a circus. One day is, the ego, the next day and the next day and the next day. I mean, the previous day is forgotten because there's a drama or something that the mind and the person is processing today that's more ginormous than what they went through the days preceding. So,
okay.
I just wouldn't worry yourself too much about it. You got to disconnect from that energy. That's the main thing that I would say.
Okay.
Disconnect from the energy. Let God handle it. You're protected. Let God handle it, and the universe is intervening too. So,
okay,
it'll work out accordingly.
Okay.
Okay, Shelley.
They will get caught, Charlotte. They have there's fingerprints on the brick, and I would make sure that
I have it. It's in a plastic bag.
Yeah, make sure that the police do a fingerprinting of the brick, because there's fingerprints on the brick. They didn't wear gloves.
Exactly.
They're not that smart. They're not that bright.
No.
They didn't think to put gloves on, and so I think that because the fingerprints are on the brick, they will make an arrest in the future and and arrest them. So I do think that they're going to get caught, and I feel that you're going to be going to court. That there's going to be a court hearing, and that they are going to be fined money. And
so they'll pay for the damages.
Yes, they'll be fined, so that the damages will get paid, and there may be some probation. I don't think them putting in jail for it, but I do see them being on probation, and I do see a restraining order. So if they come near you, they will go to jail. So I feel that it might be advisable to get some kind of restraining order.
Oh, really?
I think it will, because I think they could come back. So I think you need a restraining
order. But they
weren't.
They didn't come to my house. This happened at the man's house.
They still may come over to your house, so get a restraining order.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think you need to
why would they come to my house? Would it be out of anger or what?
Yeah, out of anger, because you're prosecuting them, and they're not going to be happy, and you're not dealing with balanced people. I feel they do drugs, that they're drug addicts, and they're not balanced.
Yeah, there's a heavy drug vibe.
Okay.
So I think that you need to get some kind of order of protection, so they don't come near you.
Now,
because once the police get in contact with them to arrest them, they're going to be pretty angry.
Yeah, well, they will. Okay. Can I ask another question?
We don't have time. We have to go now because the show is ending.
Okay, thank you for your assistance.
You're welcome. I wanted
to
thank you. I wanted to thank Phil Foss for being my special guest on the Psychic Horizon show today. I wanted to thank Tiffany White, Sage Woman of Goldilocks Production, for producing the Psychic Horizon show, and I want to thank the callers who participated in the Psychic Horizon show. Thank you for calling the Psychic Horizon show. I'll have you back on November 3rd.
Yes, thank you very much, Shelley. And I wanted to let you know and everyone out there that I'll be at the Carlsbad New Earth Expo in Carlsbad, California at the Airport Holiday Inn this Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and we'll have a speaking engagement from 2:30 to 3:30. So if you're in Orange County or Los Angeles and you'd like to make it out, we'll be there at that event. It's great energy there. So thanks a lot, Shelley, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Bill, and have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.